Hey guys, this is Camfreak15 and again joined by the Red Wolf.
Yes, no unique intro this time. Go ahead.
And we're here to do again another SAO Season 3 Alicization War of the Underworld review for you. Again, another good episode. Things are just heating up the more as the episodes keep progressing. But I don't know if this is me, but they feel like they're going by super freaking fast.
Yeah, and it's not just you, man. It's the same for me. I mean, I still like it. It's just, I guess it just seems so fast because we were just caught up in the moment.
Yeah. Because the moment they cut to I guess you can say when they revealed the Berkeley death, um, and they started showing the credits, I'm like, whoa, wait, it's over? It's the episode's ending right now? And I'm like, you cannot be kidding me. I went back to the episode after the episode was over, checked to see how long this episode was. It's a 23-minute episode, and I was like, that was fast. So Um, I guess when you watch, they go by so fast that you just don't even pay attention. But anyways, we're here for SAO, Alicization, War of the Underworld, episode 14. Now, in terms of the War of the Underworld, it's episode 14. I think we're like in the whole Alicization thing, it's like episode 30 something. I think episode 38. But I'm gonna use episode 14 since it's whatever. Anyways, as we last packed off from last week, we see Klein and the others start to descend into into the underworld. And this is when we get everybody we all have seen in the past, come back, have their triumphant return, and, stuff like that. And, then they reunite, they have you reunite. I guess you could say, did they have to extend the reuniting between the friends? I don't think they needed to show that. Like, they could have said, hey, we're here. You didn't need to do all this reuniting. Get to work. Like, there was one part when just Silica, Liz, and Asuna just talking. I'm like, shouldn't you guys be fighting right now? Like, why are you guys talking? So
Cameron, let them have their moment.
anyway, so yeah, the one green-haired knight who was a coward when the freaking arc first started off. Um, at first he thought like, oh, people from the real world would look scary like the American players, but no, they look just like them. So yeah, that's really it. So essentially, Asuna gets back into the battle. She reheals her injuries, which why didn't she do that earlier? No idea. But
She needs to focus.
okay, she rehearses her injuries. She gets back into battle, and then that's when we cut to the ocean turtle. Which, or actually, even so. Anyways, Austin actually questioned, well, how is everybody getting here? So one, Liz tells Asuna, Yui was the one most responsible for getting everybody into the underworld, if not convincing more people to even join. And we get a number around, they say around 2,000 players converted over into the underworld, which 2,000 players are risking the chance of possibly losing their accounts. But I think our main cast members won't lose their accounts. And I definitely don't. And I definitely think the fairy leaders probably won't lose their accounts as well. Like I said, we don't know what can happen. They might end up losing their accounts, but let's be real. They'll get all their stats all the way back up, anyways. So, you know,
Yeah.
just saying. So, anyways, yeah, and then Liz says like there was just some other players that didn't want to take the risk, so I guess she pointed out the one guy who was, I guess, bitching about losing his account, but okay, whatever.
Mm.
So yeah. So, anyways, we cut to the ocean turtle, and I don't know, and I'm gonna cut over to Denzel. You can speak to the best of your abilities because at this point I was just confused with what they're doing, what they were talking about, and plus they were speaking too fast for me to put in my notes.
Well, from what I can gather, I'm pretty sure you already picked this up too. That they're trying to find a way to revive Kirito and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. As for how, they're gonna have to take a risk of getting spotted, like getting into, I guess, a mainframe to I don't know, man. I'm just as
Yeah.
confused as you.
So, anyways, like Denzel was explaining, it cuts back to the ocean turtle, and we see obviously government guy Higa, and then the one chick who used to date Kayaba. I'm sorry, I forgot their names. It's been a while. Um, anyways, we see like this folder thing being converted into some little tab thing that Higa sees, and he sees that Kirito's his conscience is starting to come back a bit. And like I said, it's obviously because of Asuna and Sinon getting into the game and seeing him. Like I said, we need his little cousin or his sister or whatever they want to call her, Suguhan, to see um, Kirito, and then maybe he'll reawaken. But it seems like they're going to go in a complete different direction. But anyways, they're going to wake him up because of his self-image, essentially, and it was hard to explain what they're doing, but essentially they're going to use the self-image to, I guess, bring back some memories or something to wake him up. So out of this little thing, but like Denzel said, they're going to have to take a risk by going outside the door, which I don't think these little assassin people really care what they're doing. Um,
Mm,
anyways, this dude Higa has to go into this mainframe thing to fix this thing to make the STL work. Otherwise, bad things will happen essentially if they don't have that happen. And they're taking a risk going in there. And what I did find interesting is there was this one other scientist who was like, "Let me come with you because I actually know my way around the thing and how to do that stuff." And I'm like, and Higa, you were about to just go up in there by yourself. And Higa even makes a comment like, "Oh, good," because I would have not known what to do. I'm like, then why even think about going in the first place?
it's a risk they have to take.
Yeah, so it's a risk they're gonna have to take to reawaken Kirito, which it seems like that's gonna be the main reason why they're gonna reawaken him. I guess they're gonna flood his memories with these past memories of past events, which are gonna trigger something and then obviously reawaken him for the final climactic battle against Vector, who is going to be going to the game as his, I guess, GGO character or whatever. So yeah, now I'm gonna hand the Berkeley versus Vector fight to Denzel.
So yeah, Cameron mentioned it to me before that the animation kind of reminds him of Dragon Ball Super Broly. Yeah, like
And what I'm trying to say is they have like these thick black lines on the characters, and the animation looks like kind of like manga like essentially. But the animation in this fight was great. It was legit great.
yeah. So yeah, back to like the fight itself. Berkeley was kind of getting beat up and all that stuff. Like he's not really landing any blows on him until he found like until he used a technique to, I don't know, like attack Vecta past, I guess. I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, like he tried to find an opening, but he couldn't. And then his dragon came to the rescue, and that bought him enough time to attack Vecta's 3 minute into the past self, I guess.
hmm
Don't know how many minutes. And he defeated Vecta right there. And that's where we have some bittersweet, heartwarming Alice and Berkeley moment.
And can I just say this? I called it last week that he would die.
I called it as well, my friend. Uh, yeah, it was pretty heartbreaking.
This is
Yeah,
the
and
only time. Go ahead.
yeah, Alice found out he died, and she cried. The spirit of Berkeley was rising, and right next to him not only was his dragon, but a certain villainess from the very first part of the season 3, Quinella herself. I didn't see this. I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, I did not see that coming. We don't read the light novel or even read the manga. We're just anime onlys. And we were watching this at the same time, and when Denzel said, "What? Quinella?" and I looked up and I see her, I'm like, "What the hell?"
What were you doing looking down?
I was putting notes in.
Yeah. So yeah, from what I can tell between okay, here's what I can.
First, before we talk about the Quinella Berkeley thing, talk about what happened next after that. That was a huge revelation that we both didn't see coming.
Yeah, I guess we see Berkeley and Vanilla fly away on the dragon. We find out that Benatio, she's pregnant with Berkeley's child.
Now,
Okay, so here's what we can establish.
now, first things first. I thought Berkeley was referring to Alice because he called Alice his daughter. Before he died.
I thought so too.
Then this is when we get revealed that essentially the girl who trained under him is pregnant with him. So yeah, but go ahead with what you were saying, Denzel.
Yeah. So here's what we can sum up what happened between them and all that stuff. Okay, so Berkeley was the first Integrity Knight that Quinella was able to summon up, and I guess they had a thing going on.
Like, they even had one flashback scene of Berkeley and Quinella in the first half of, and I think a little bit in the set here in War of the Underworld, when they were talking about the Integrity Knights and how Quinella was acting and stuff like that. It did show that Quinella looked like she really did care about Berkeley and she had something for him because that's the first person who served under her. Although she did control him and take away his past memories, she did look like she really liked him some sort of romantic way. Although what she tried to do to Yu-Gi-Oh later on, which was yeah, suggestive, but it seems like in the scene it seems like in the scene where they fly off, I guess, into heaven or something like that, wherever they go in the afterlife, their version of their afterlife. It seems like they had a thing because she even like sits in his arm and he has his arm like like a hero would hold onto the head of the hair and everything. And it's like, did they have something going on? I'm like, it's never specified how long the second Integrity Knight was put to Quinella's thing, but I'm guessing Berkeley was the first one for like probably maybe a few months, and they had something going on, and mostly because Berkeley was kind of the most loyal integrity knight to her, as not being the strong as well as being the strongest one. But I guess you can see why they had some, I guess, a thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Quinella, if they ever went the distance, Quinella never got pregnant from it. But we see that the former apprentice gets pregnant from it.
You're skipping a little too much. So yeah, uh, I guess throughout the months that happened after Vanilla was defeated, Berkeley and Benatio was having was getting it on.
They went through the distance, and if you don't believe it, from what I remember, in the first couple of episodes of War of the Underworld, they say there was time that passed. Like there were a few months that passed. Like I think a month passed. So that's indirectly the same amount of time you can get somebody pregnant, to be honest. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so she has his child, and then they're gonna be. She's good. So she goes off as she realizes that Berkeley's dead because of, I guess you can say, his essence, essentially, because like this little little starry type of thing kind of goes around her body, and she just has a feeling like he died, and she says, "I will take care of our baby," which that's nice and all. I don't know how much this world will freaking live on, because after this, I feel like government guy's gonna shut down the underworld stuff like that. But who knows? My prediction is maybe Alice and some of the other characters from this world will be transported actually to ALO and live on in there like Yui, essentially. But we'll have to find out when that time comes. But then, yeah, and then that's when the episode ends off, and that was like, um, that,
Really abrupt.
that was fast. Um, and yeah, then the end credit scene is essentially Vecta waking up in the real world because he lost. So it's confirmed that his god character got beat by an integrity knight, which I guess is probably a failed prediction on mine. I thought it'd be where only the goddess characters would be able to take Vecta on. But it seems like I guess I was wrong about that. It seems like Berkeley actually, I guess, had an eye for an eye.
Well, he did hand a certain piece of paper to his partner in the real world, saying to log him into a certain account. We have
Oh
no
yeah,
idea. We have
yeah,
no idea what this account is capable of. So maybe it's even better than Dark God Vecta.
yes. Essentially, he's gonna do the same thing his freaking hulking buddies just did. He's in the underworld world. He's just watching Asuna fight, and I thought they would clash in this episode, but who knows when they're gonna clash.
There's still more episodes to go.
But that's when the episode ends off, and yeah, so it was another good episode. It had emotional moments. It had some crazy revelations here too. So yeah, and I guess another thing is Alice is on her own now, so she needs to get back to the people trying to protect her before reincarnated new Vecta comes and finds her again and tries to take her. So yeah, it was another good episode. I know we kind of blitzed by this episode than compared to last week's video, but let's be real. The only really important thing that really happened was Berkeley versus Vecta. If I'm honestly being honest, everything else in the first half of the episode was complete boring crap, to be honest. There was some revelations here and there on how to bring back Kirito, yes, yes, and yes. But it's like the first half, the first like 10 minutes of the episode is just the characters we all love and know reuniting. We cut over to the ocean turtle, what they're gonna do, which took a majority of the episode. Then we get to the great part, which is the Berkeley versus Vecta stuff, and then episode over. So it was.
I wonder if it just feels like it's boring because it's in Japanese and we prefer to hear it in English.
It's not that. I don't know. It just feels like compared to me. I don't know if other people are getting this, but to me, it feels like the episodes are going way, way too fast. Like it's like the pacing's like boom, 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 and then episode over by the time, and it feels like it's only been like 16 minutes. You know, compared to say like me watching a weekly One Piece episode, which seems like to take forever. And I know people say like, well, that's One Piece. One Piece always drags on, but it's like, why is this dragging on? Why do these episodes feel like it takes forever? But I don't know. It's just my thing. The first two episodes of Sword Art Online coming back, then I'm like, wow, these episodes are going by really, really fast. I don't know if it's like the pacing is up or I'm just not like I'm just too much into the show right now. Who knows? Who knows? But next week seems to be a good episode. Whatever's gonna happen next week, because we don't get next episode previews, we just get next episode title. So yeah. I guess predictions for next week is I'm predicting it might not happen, but I'm predicting one dude will start fighting Asuna next week. Um, Obviously, Higa and the other scientists will make progress to the mainframe thing to try to fix the STL to help Kirito. And then maybe one of the goddess characters come across Alice and tell her like I'm helping out, Are you Alice and stuff like that? So yeah. And
Don't forget, Xenon is on the trail. So.
oh yeah. Also, oh yeah, we did not see no Xenon or no Leafa in this episode, so they're kind of doing their own thing. Xenon's probably looking for Alice. I feel, and then Vector's probably gonna come back into the game. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where things go from here on. Any predictions, Denzel, for you for next week that might be different from mine?
I guess. I feel like we might be seeing more character development from the characters from the Dark Territory, like we had with a certain or character from episode 1.
Well, if we're looking at the Dark Army, seriously, I think all their main captains, other than Punching Guy and Piggy Dude, are all done. Because
I feel like there's gonna be more.
I'm gonna have to look back, but I'm sure all the other leaders for the different races for the Underworld, they're all taken out, other than the pig and the fighting guy. Like the witch mage girl was taken down last week. Um, the not the Norks, the
Orcs.
Norks, the crap, what is the goblins? I think all the other commanders have been taken down, other than those two. I'm sure they're not any more than that.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
Which means the only antagonists right now are the main guys in those American players. So, you know, that's the only people that they have to stop, which seems like their army has diminished like a lot. I also did find this interesting about the Berkeley and the other girl who's pregnant with his kid. It's kind of the opposite of the one guy on the Underworld who died along with his wife that died. That's kind of like the opposite of what happened. They were supposed to hook up, but then they ended up getting killed by Vecta.
Yeah, that was still heartbreaking up even to this day.
Yeah.
After.
The crazy thing is they didn't even want a war. They just wanted a truce, which actually would have made things much better.
If only Vecta never logged in.
Oh yeah, Vector never logged in. Things wouldn't be crazy as is, but yeah, that's what I actually did find interesting. Like it's kind of like an opposite thing. Now I know Berkeley did die, but still, they still kind of get a good ending because the girlfriend is still alive with the kid. So yeah, but like I said, I definitely do think maybe some major characters from the Underworld in Alicization might be converted over to ALO and might be in that thing. If not any of those characters, definitely I believe Alice will be converted over there because they're definitely going to get their hands on Alice, have her little data, probably upload her to ALO, and she'll probably be like Yui, where she's just an AI within the game or an NPC that has just full control of what she's doing. So, yeah, we'll just have to see where this series is going. But yeah, that's all I got to say for this week. Any other closing statements, Denzel?
Oh man, I don't know where this is. I don't know where this series is going. Will it get even darker? I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens next.
Okay. Then that's all we got to say here because we did our speculations and our thoughts and everything here. So next time you'll see us next Saturday for episode 15 of Sword Art Online Alicization War of the Underworld. So as we get out of here, please leave a like on the video. Put in the comments your thoughts on what could be happening next and your thoughts on some of the revelations here. And I guess question of the day: do you think Berkeley and Quinella were an item? So that's your question of the day. So hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Sword Art Online content. You know, on the channel. This past week, I actually uploaded our thoughts on the Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale movie. Next week we'll be reviewing Sword Art Online Alicization Part 1, when the main antagonist at the time was Quinella. And then the week after that, we'll review the first 12 episodes of Sword Art Online or the Underworld Alicization, which means I'll probably might have to go back and rewatch some episodes, to be honest. But that's fine. But anyways, we're gonna get out. We're gonna get out of here. Hopefully, you guys are having a great and safe day. Until then, guys, peace.